Good evening and afternoon, people joining for a special session of Basingstoke Speakers. As you may already know, this is not a usual meeting. This is a special induction session that we do on time to time to make our new members welcome, to also get them up to speed and also help them get started. So it's a very, very exciting session and I hope you guys will have fun. As a reminder, yeah, we'll be going on Facebook Live for a time, not all the time. And yes, so let's first ask our president, Claudia Tinero, who will start the meeting with her presidential address. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. So that's how we're still calling each other tonight. Yes, Mr. Toastmaster, thank you very much. So welcome, fellow Toastmasters. And I'm not saying most welcome guests because we are all Toastmasters in this meeting. So it doesn't matter where we are in the world. We got Nisha. Oh, hi, Nisha. We just started.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
No worries. This is a very special, and I think it's the first induction meeting of 2020, the 21 is the first one, but it's the second induction we've done in this Toastmaster year since, we've been running as a committee. Hopefully you're going to find this session very interesting. And I want to congratulate you all for becoming members and part of this amazing family. As I mentioned every single time, Toastmaster is a life-changing experience. At least it's been for me. And just by taking part, participating to the clubs, you are going to make the difference and become confident speakers. So I'm going to pass the ball straight back to our Toastmaster, who is going to run the meeting tonight. So back to you, Haritosh, and welcome everyone.
Thank you so much. Welcome everyone and welcome. I see multiple people joined while Claudia was starting the meeting. Let me share a screen. I just wanted to start by showing you a certificate. Basingstoke Speakers Club have completed 7 years since it chartered. So in June 2021, this is the 7th anniversary of the Basingstoke Speakers Club. So rest assured you are in safe hands. Going through the program, we are having multiple sessions today. If you have any question, feel free to put it in chat. If we are not able to answer that during the session, we will certainly take that after the session. Also, we will have a lot of videos today. So kicking off, one of the things that we all come to Toastmaster is to improve our communication and leadership skills. So I thought how good it would be that if you hear from people who have been there for some time and who have learned and directly listen from them. So during the session, we are going to have 3 experience sharing from experienced Toastmaster of the Basingstoke Club itself. And I'm starting off with our tech guru, Kid Barritt, who could not be here, unfortunately, but he still managed to send us a video. Let's go through that.
When I joined Toastmasters, I was working as a technical trainer, so I was very used to standing in front of people and talking to them. But that didn't mean to say that I didn't gain a great deal of benefit from my membership. I was actually quite reluctant to join because I so disliked table topics. I felt from my position as a technical trainer that I had to be able to answer questions, and being stumped for words was very, very uncomfortable to me. But through practicing, I became much more relaxed about that, and it has definitely helped me in my business environment. There have been times when I've been called at last minute to attend, for example, a board meeting to present the latest update on a project, and the experience of table topics has definitely helped me. Indeed, even speaking in front of large audiences has helped me. There have also been times when I've been asked to present an hour and a half long technical paper to, in some cases, very large, more than 1,000 people technical audiences. And my experience at Toastmasters has helped me build the confidence to be able to do that. Setting up Basingstoke Speakers Club, I was the original Vice President of Education, has also been a great opportunity for leadership and for helping other people. I still think I learn and gain from my membership of Basingstoke Speakers Club. In particular, I love to see other people coming on, other people developing their skills, and for me to have some small component of that. So even though I'm a very experienced speaker and have been a member for many years, I still gain from my membership and I still enjoy my membership.
Let's give a big round of applause to Kit. Now is the time for our first session. Our first presenter tonight is someone who I really appreciate. She's our outgoing area director, if I may say. She has helped us so much throughout the year and beyond. Let's put our hands together for our area director, Miriam Fernandez, who's going to take us through a little bit introduction about Toastmaster and a few more jargons and bits and pieces. So let's welcome with thunderous applause, Miriam Fernandez.
Thank you very much, Haritosh. Can you just stop sharing? I can.
Trying.
And also allow me to share, please. Can I just ask, raise your hand if you are a relatively new member. Okay, so we got Mike, we got Nisha, we got Stevie, we got Divya, Claire, Josh. Claire, you're not a relatively new member, are you?
Quite new.
Oh, bear with me 1 second. Okay, well, welcome. First of all, welcome to Toastmasters. I'm going to do a presentation to guide you through the organization, explain the roles, explain what we have in Toastmasters and what you can benefit from. Any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can interrupt me anytime as well. So let me just share. There. Can you see my screen? Awesome. And can you hear me well? Let's go. Basingstoke Speakers Club. What is Toastmasters? Well, it's a worldwide non-profit international organization, educational organization, established in 1924. Very old, almost 100 years ago. 352 members. We got a hit in the pandemic, but we're still around that figure. 1,000 members. And 16,400 clubs around the world in 141 countries. Like today, we got Prince from the other part of the world, from America or Canada. Is it Canada?
Europe.
No, he's in Europe now, but he's member of all clubs. Who uses Toastmasters? I just wanted to show you that actually Toastmasters is not just community and local cities that use it or towns. It's actually used as well by large organizations. And you can find in our area in Berkshire, you can find organizations like Microsoft who uses Toastmasters. We got Microsoft Reading Club. We got Verizon. We got Oracle. And I'm going to try and start my own one. So they're in my company. So there are a lot of good Toastmaster clubs out there, corporate and community. Pathways. It will be a word that you will hear a lot. Pathways is our education program in Toastmasters. You might hear sometimes people saying, "Oh, the old education program had manuals and it was divided into." Pathways came to us in 2 years ago. We're using Pathways since 2 years ago, more or less, and it's great. It's our pretty much modern system where we log in, we have our self-learning courses, and it will be telling you what speeches you can do, the projects that you can do, and there are 11 paths which you can choose from. There used to be 10, but they added the humorous one, so this 11th. And Haritosh, I think, is going to do a speech later on Pathways. So I won't go into detail, but Pathways are education system for Toastmasters. It covers both leadership and public speaking skills and communication skills. Now, I wanted to show you this because it's always confusing, particularly for new members. Take a screenshot if you can. This is very important. These are the websites that you're going to use in Toastmasters. So you have this one, toastmasters.org, which is your international website, which I will show you in a minute. That one is the organization website. You will go there for anything that you need Toastmaster related. Then you have Toastmaster without S, toastmasterclub.org, and that's what we called easySpeak, which I will also show you in a minute. easySpeak is a non-official tool created by Toastmaster members, free, and that we use in Basingstoke. And it basically helps you to schedule your agenda for the meetings, to track what you're doing, how many times you've done a role, speeches, etc. You're going to be using both. This one is to access your Basecamp, and Basecamp is your pathways to access your learning. This one and other things. And this one is for meeting roles. So when you come to the meeting, do you click on easySpeak and say you're coming? And do you choose a role? I'll show you that in a minute. Now, I put here one extra because we are in District 91 in Toastmasters, and District 91 has an amazing website that you can use for a lot of things. It actually has a calendar as well that has a lot of events, webinars, courses. It's really good. So get familiar with it. I know it's 3 websites, a lot, but do try, give it a try, because it has a lot of information that many Toastmasters don't know that exist. Now, so you know, this is how the UK looks like in terms of district. We are somewhere around here, and we are District 91. I won't go into further detail into division area and all of that, but District 91 is where we are. So when you are doing anything, just make sure you're on the District 91 website. You can obviously go on the 71, but District 91 is more related to you because you are in the district. That's the website again. Now, that's the Toastmasters.org. This is where you're going to have your pathway. So you log in, and you're going to have here your pathways. It tells you go to Basecamp. Haritos will tell you about it. And if you are a committee member, you're actually going to have some leadership stuff going on here. You click here and you can access to extra resources. So that's where the treasurer set people up and pays the fees, or the president approves and the VPE approves your pathways and your levels. This is for committee members. And then you got some other bits and pieces. This is really good resources. Whenever you need to find something like, oh, I need a manual about body language, try in resources. There's a lot of information out there, as well as the District 91 website. Try and get familiar with both. And then this one is easySpeak. It's what I always like to say Toastmaster, because there is no S, and we always forget toastmasterclub.org. Remember, this is where you're going to go here on your Basingstoke club. So this is me, and this is all the clubs I belong. Well, no, not anymore, but I've gone there. And then you go on to my meetings. You will click on the meeting that is today or the next meeting, and then you would then sign up for roles. Very important to get familiar with this one, because it's very important for the club to know that you're coming and that you want to take a role. Speech contests. Do you know what it is? Anyone here has done a speech contest? Haritos, Divya. Okay, right. So this is the fun part of Toastmasters. This is where you can actually have fun and be popular, really popular. And if you want to make a living of public speaking, you could do it if you are the winner. So let me show you what's going on here, right? We got 5, but I won't tell you about the other one. 4 really contests. And if you want to know more, let me know later. One is international speech contest. So that is you can do a speech about all topics. It's really doing a prepared speech like you would do in an evening about any topic. But if I could advise you on what speeches normally win on this level, on international, it's normally persuasive, influencing, inspiring. Normally people tell stories that are very inspiring. They give takeaways to the audience. They are really powerful speeches. So if you are thinking, oh, I'm just going to do a speech about technical stuff, it probably won't win. You might want to have some inspirational speeches. Then you've got evaluation contests. So same as you go in the evening when there are evaluators evaluating speeches, Well, it's exactly the same. You are doing an evaluation contest. You are evaluating what we call a target speaker. Someone from another club does a speech, and then 3 or 5 people here will evaluate that speech. And then the judges vote the best evaluator. Table topics, again, you're familiar with that. Exactly the same as we do in the club. Your topics like you have, and what happened in table topics is that everyone has the same topic. And then it can be from, I ask you a question to, I show you an item. I saw a table topic that they gave an orange to the speaker, and they said, talk about the orange. So it can be very difficult. It can be very easy, but everyone gets the same topic. And then the humorous contest, obviously, it's about humorous speeches. So these are the 4 contests that you're going to have in Basingstoke, and you're going to have this 2 in autumn and this 2 in spring. Now, if you really want to be popular in Toastmasters, you want to go into the international one, because the international contest is the one that goes to the World Championship. Remember when I said district? So for every contest, oh, sorry, I missed a slide. I don't know what it is. But from every contest, you have the contest in your club. If you win, you go on the area. If you win, you go on division. If you win, you go on district. For all 3, you can go on district. But for international, after district, you go on semifinals, quarterfinals, semifinals, and then you go a world championship. And if you win the world championship, well, you probably be a public speaker, a keynote speaker, probably a paid keynote speaker. I don't know a champion for the world championship that is not a paid speaker. It's like professional level. That's really good. But hey, the next one can be here in this room. You never know. Right, I wanted to show you the committee role so that you are aware of what happens in your club. Basingstoke speaker and any other club, it's run by volunteers, and it's run by a committee of members that take different roles. Your club president, you've seen Claudia, she opened the address, she guides everyone, and it's basically the chairwoman of the club. She's the face of the club, and she makes sure that everyone are doing what they're supposed to be doing with their roles. Vice President of Education is the person that assigns the speeches and that plans the agendas. Is someone that approves your pathways when you achieve a level 1, level 2, level 5, you'll get it submitted to your VPE, they'll approve it. The Vice President of Education is an amazing role for leadership. Really good. If you are into leadership, this one is really, really important. I always say the VP runs the club, not the president. I always say the VP, the bones of the club. The president is king, type of thing. Then we've got the vice president of membership. Now, that's the person that once the members are going to become members, as you know, you get someone to fill up your form, get your form filled, and then sign you up in Toastmasters, sign you up on easySpeak, and it's basically to sort out your onboarding into Toastmasters. Public relation is the person that does anything to do with advertising. So if we are live in Facebook, or if we are doing any other Twitter advertisement or LinkedIn or whatever, then they'll be doing the social media and anything else that we do face-to-face. Secretary, it's a nice, easy role to come onto the committee for the first time if you want to join. And it's about taking the minutes in the club and the committee meetings, because the committee needs to meet separate to the evenings of the Basingstoke speakers. And the secretary is like it's like a manager to make sure that everything happens. So he has access to pathways management, but it's not a manager per se, but it does maintain, like, if the VPE hasn't approved something, the secretary can see it and can say to the VPE, hey, you haven't approved. So the secretary is a critical role, but it is relatively nice role and easy role for the people that want to join the committee. Treasurer, you know what it is. Gets the money, money, money. Because even though we are not a profit, we are non-profit, but we need to pay a little bit. We need to pay a little bit to maintain this. And if we go face to face, there might be a fee as well, depending on where we are when we go face to face for the venue, renting the venue. So treasurer manages the money and the budget of the club. Sergeant at arms, open up the meetings, take care of any items that we have. So if we have ribbons, I haven't got them with me. The ribbons that I got one, but it's the area director one, so you can see there. So any ribbon, any thing that is physical, it's managed by the sergeant at arms. And what happens is you want to have a good collection of things. So if you have a banner, if you have pins, anything to do with material, it'll be handled by the sergeant at arms, as well as opening and potentially opening after the break, and sometimes closing the meeting or get closed by the president. Again, another nice role if you want to join the committee. An immediate past club president, it's literally that, is the past president that is there of the past year that is there to support the committee. So I'm currently in my home club, I'm immediate past president. So I'm supporting my committee, my president, to help them with it, obviously to be successful and all of that. It's not an active role per se, it's more of an advisory board type of thing. Any questions around committee roles? Awesome. Join the committee is great. And lots of leadership skills. Meeting roles. This is the important one. You're going to get this. The more you come to Toastmasters, the more you're going to understand it. Toastmaster of the evening, the chair of the evening, is the person that is someone that you don't really need to see much, but it's such an important role to keep us going through the evening. It will be introducing, it will be making sure we are on time, it will be handling any situation. So if there are any drops out, if someone drops out and we need to replace, so the Toastmaster of the evening will make sure that all roles are filled and sort out everybody. It's a lovely role. It is a really good role. It requires a lot of structure, a lot of organization and leadership to deal with the people that are doing their roles. So it makes sure that everyone knows what they're doing. The grammarian is the role that tells me off a lot because I'm Spanish and I need to practice and improve my English. The grammarian manages and the reports onto the use of English, not only grammatically, but also pronunciation. I used to pronounce really bad English and I have improved now thanks to the grammarian. Some clubs rather, have the grammarian and the accountant role together. Other clubs have it separate. At the end of the day, they could do, so they have different things to do, but it could be done in one person. The accountant role is the person that counts the number of filler words in our speeches. And this is my favorite. How many times have you put the BBC or the radio or the TV and you heard someone, and you are there looking at the words, when are you going to say something? You're telling me so many filler words. I can't stand that. So the accountant is great because they tell you how many times you've done so's, and well, and all of that. It's a lovely role. It's very fun. And the more particular that you can be with the people, the better, so that they know their filler words. But then again, it can be together with the grammarian. The timer is the one that talks about the time and reports on the time. So as you know, for prepared speeches, 5 to 7 minutes. So it will have a traffic light, green, amber, and red. And it's such a simple role, as you can see, just keeping track of the time. But I hate it because I always mess up. Because it's very difficult. You are with the phone here, trying to time the people, and at the same time you're listening to the speech, and you forget that you needed to time because you're listening. It's great for listening skills, the timer. Very difficult role for me, but it's great. Try out the timer. See if you can keep up listening at the speeches. And the prepared speeches. As you know, this is next speech is going to be probably Mike's icebreaker. And this is where Mike will prepare his speech and will deliver it to us 4 to 6 minutes in this case, or normal 5 to 7 minutes. Speech evaluator. I don't have to say anything else. Evaluate and use the comment technique that we promote in Toastmasters. So that's giving a nice commendation, something that you liked, then something that you recommend, and then something that you like. It's like a sandwich technique that we use. We like to say, I liked how you spoke. You were very vocal or had a lot of variety, but you were quiet. So try and improve your, try and speak louder, for example. And then you close saying something like, and you had a good structure and your speech content was great. So I'm just giving you an example of how you can do a sandwich technique. Don't worry about being a speech evaluator being new in Toastmasters, because it's your opinion. It's really your opinion. I advise that once you've done 2 speeches, you can do a speech evaluation. And if you need someone to help you, you'll have mentors, you'll have people in the club committee members that will help you to do evaluations. It's much easier than it looks. Table topic master, you all know that, is the person that runs the table topic session. It gives you the topics, and then it brings the speakers to talk about the topics. It's nice to do a little introduction when you're doing this role. And if you're going to say, for example, I'm going to talk about Christmas, then I'm going to say nice things about maybe where Christmas come from, what we're doing in Christmas, and then I'll tie the topics to Christmas theme. So it's a nice role to do. It's kind of an interview type of thing, and you want to have different topics for different people, not like in the contest, which is one topic for everyone. In the meeting, we do have different topics for different people, and then they get evaluated by the table topics evaluators. In some clubs there are 2, in other clubs there are 1 evaluator. It depends, but you want to try and do the same as the evaluation in the speech, but much shorter, because you only have 30 seconds to 1 minute. So you really want to keep it very, very short. Finally, well, obviously the speakers of the table topics. So that's basically you can ask a question or given a topic and you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And then the general evaluator. This is, most of you have seen me when I come to Basingstoke, or any club, I normally do a general evaluation, because it's the person that evaluates the entire meeting, evaluates every single role that didn't have an evaluation. So the speakers won't be evaluating by the general evaluator because they got evaluated by these guys. But the general evaluator, or GE, will evaluate the Toastmaster, the grammarian, the accountant, the timer, and will give an evaluation to the meeting as a whole. That's why as area director, I normally get this role every time, because I do evaluations of clubs. But this role can be done by anyone in the club. And sometimes it's so good to get new people to do the role, to say, right, you don't have any experience about Toastmaster. Tell us how you think we did. But it is a complex role. You probably won't want to. You probably want to do an evaluation role before doing the GE role. I want to leave you with this conclusion I like very much from Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. But working together is success. And that's what we do together in Toastmasters. We work together to be successful. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Ask me any questions and I'll hand over to you, Haritosh.
Thank you so much, Miriam. That was so enlightening. I believe that most of our new members would have got a lot more about what the program is all about, what are the different roles. So thank you so much. I know it's a 1 hour long presentation, so it did went a little bit over, but that's fine.
Sorry, I don't see the timer today.
Yeah, we didn't have timer, so yeah. All right, so as I promised earlier, we're gonna have another experience sharing from another experienced member. Most of you know, I will say all of you know her. So let's hear from our previous area director, or Debs. What does she has to say about our club and her experience of Toastmasters in general?
Hello everybody, and welcome to your training for Basingstoke speakers. I'm so excited you're doing this training. I first joined Basingstoke speakers. I went along in November 2013, and I was so timid that in the car park I nearly turned round and didn't go along to that meeting. Subsequently, I joined in the January. I was equally as timid, but the people were extremely welcoming, and we had tea and biscuits, which made it even more exciting. My journey continued through with Basingstoke speakers through to the time that we chartered in June 2014 and became an actual club, and I became gradually more confident in my public speaking due to the help that I received from Basingstoke speakers. I had a wonderful mentor who helped me, and it's really good to have a mentor, because that's somebody you can bounce questions off, you can show drafts of your speeches to, and somebody who will walk every step of the way with you so you don't feel as though you're alone. Basingstoke speakers has a reputation locally for being a friendly and welcoming club, and we pride ourselves in that, and we love new members joining. We love making them feel welcome, and that's how our club grows. At the moment we have the challenge of being on Zoom, and we took to that like a duck to water, and it's an exciting club to be a member of. In terms of my journey on within Toastmasters, I've become more and more confident, and I've learnt not only public speaking but also leadership skills, and that's a wonderful thing within Toastmasters, that it's not only public speaking. You learn all these extra skills as well that you can put to use outside the Toastmaster environment in your place of work. And I better stop now. That's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Debs, even though you're not here, but you're here. Now, moving on.
Hello, everyone.
Moving on with the agenda. Miriam talked a little bit about Toastmasters website. Now I'm going to cover a little bit about what is that Pathways program, how you can get started, how you can mark your projects in Pathways, and how basically you start your journey with Pathways. So I'm going to have another video played. This is about Pathways. We'll probably not play the whole video, but it will give you a little bit introduction about Pathways. And then what I want to do is go to the toastmaster.org website and show you how you can actually navigate through.
Welcome to the Toastmasters Pathways Learning Experience, an exciting, flexible, and interactive way to develop your skills. Building on Ralph Smedley's original vision and Toastmasters' core competencies, Pathways upholds the club experience while offering new, revitalized educational content that helps you learn communication and leadership skills. The skills you will learn will give you a competitive advantage in the workplace and maximize your potential. Pathways allows you to leverage more than 300 competencies across more than 60 projects. These projects are divided into 11 specialized learning paths that allow you to tailor your experience to fit your goals and your pace. While all paths have the same level of difficulty and help to build public speaking skills and confidence, each path has its own unique focus. All 11 paths feature elective projects to choose from that allow you to further tailor your experience. All of this content is available online and is accessible from a computer, laptop, or tablet, allowing you to learn anytime, anywhere. Printed and accessible materials are also available. With Toastmasters members around the globe, we've also translated Pathways materials into a variety of languages, including French, simplified Chinese, and Spanish. If you'd like to work online, Basecamp is the place where you'll find all of the materials for your learning experience, along with tools for your journey. On Basecamp, you'll be able to share feedback with fellow club members, view badges you've earned, access and save digital speech evaluations, and more. When you first begin Pathways, you can take an optional online assessment that will recommend the path that best aligns with your goals. Projects include a variety of interactive elements, including questionnaires, quizzes, menus, and expandable content. Educational videos model skills and provide demonstrations of the concepts you are learning. Pathways brings with it many new learning opportunities. It upholds your club experience.
Sorry, I was on mute. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, sorry about that. Zoom technology. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with the toastmaster.org website. I'll show you how you can go through the login process, how you can access the Pathways Basecamp. Probably you would have heard 5 times Pathways. Now it's time to actually go in and see what is there in Pathways, how you can select your very first path, and also how you can access project and work on it. But I'm going to share full screen, otherwise I don't see anyone. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen. All right, great. Okay. So this is the website toastmaster.org. That's where you go and get started. Miriam already gave a brief introduction. So let's click on login. Now, when you join Toastmaster, you become a member, you get an email from Toastmasters to reset your password. But in case you have not done that or you forgot your password, what you can do is there is a forgot password option that you can click. You put your email address and it will send you a link to reset your password. Now, I'm not going to do that. It's pretty simple, like any other website. Moving on. Now, there are multiple ways to go to Pathways. One of the simple ways that I find is you see this welcome your name, welcome Haritosh in this case. You click on that and it brings you all the screen. Go to Basecamp, choose a new path, use the navigator. Navigator is the page where it has all the details, all the guide about the whole program. And if you are already enrolled into any of the path, for example, you can see I'm enrolled in 3 paths. I can see directly go to my transcript. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll start for choosing a new path, because as a member, I want to choose a path. So when you click on choose a path, it does ask you about your language. And then you can choose whether you want to go for the digital option, which is where the Basecamp comes in, or you want to take the printed material. Now, as you can clearly see, printed material, it is $25 additional. They send you through post, there's a delays. So if you're really interested into printed manuals, you go for it. Otherwise, the highly recommended one is the digital resource or Basecamp. You click on that. Now you have an option. You can see all the paths option here. And if you're not sure which option to take, you can click something called take assessment. It's not an exam, it's not a grading. What it does basically is that it asks a few questions about your interest, and we're going to launch that now. And based on your interest and your answers, responses that you provide, it will recommend you 3 paths. So let's go English my language. I'll start the assessment. So first thing is, what are the 3 topics that you're interested about? You can be interested about public speaking, project planning, leadership. You can choose any of the 3. And then you go on next. And now it will start bringing up a question like, out of these 3, which one is most important? And then you keep on going. You see there are about 16 to 18 questions. And if you keep on going, at the end of it, I'm going to randomly do something, and it will show me 3 recommended paths. It will keep on asking question, and you fill in what you feel like is the best option for you. Do you agree, not agree, disagree, you are not sure? Currently, I'm doing unsure for most of us, most of these, but choose, go through it. There's no grading, as I said. It's not an exam, it's just an assessment to help you choose your path, the path that you want to take. And again, that's not mandatory. You don't really have to choose the path that Toastmasters website provides you. You can choose out of 11 paths. If you know that you want to work on your humor, for example, you don't really have to go through this assessment. You can skip that and directly go there. And we are next. So now you see, I've chosen randomly 3 options, and what it recommended me are 3 paths: innovative planning, leadership development, or visionary communication. If I feel like I want to take any of these 3, I can select and then proceed to get that. Or if I feel like, no, I really want to go for strategic relationship, I can choose that and go on. Once you go on, so with your membership, you get 1 free pass. So as soon as you become a new member, You get one free path and you don't have to pay for this. And afterwards, you have to pay $20 for each additional path. So that's the thing. Every time if you are a new member, you get one free path with your membership. And afterwards, whenever you complete your path or you want to work on multiple paths, you pay $20 and you get additional path. Any questions so far?
I have one.
Yes, Mike. Please.
If you choose more than one path, is it best to do all the low levels of both paths together and then move to the next level for each path, or is it best to just run one path all the way through the 5 levels and then start another one?
I think the recommended way, and that's probably my personal opinion, is you complete one path at least before you really get into the parallel one. Once you complete one whole path, you get a fair idea of what it is there in the program, so you don't really need to follow the sequential method, but highly recommended that you go through from level 1 to level 5, and we're going to see what exactly are the levels. And then and if you're really interested, you can do parallel things as well. And now there is an option that you can actually do level 4 before level 3 projects, even though you won't get credit and all the things about that. Now let's go back to how you can access the path. So again, click on welcome your name. And if you have enrolled into part, it will directly take you to something called go to my transcript. My transcript is the place where you will find all the project detail. So for example, I'm going on the engaging humor. That's one of my paths, and other parts is presentation mastery. And there are a few more projects in there. I'm going to click on open curriculum. So that's where it will bring up all the projects. So I've just got this path. I've not done anything, so it's pretty good for all of us to know. So in every path, there are 5 levels, level 1 to level 5. And starting from level 3, you get something called elective projects. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But if you want to say start off your work, you click on the very first level 1, and you see the very first project, which is called the icebreaker. There are projects which needs to be activated, and then you have some prerequisite to move to the other one. For example, level 1, you activate. Once you activate level 1 icebreaker, you can launch this one. And when you launch this is where the educational program of Pathways will come into picture. It will open a screen in the next tab, and which will load what exactly is icebreaker all about. Very important material here. You can go through. It will give some little bit about navigation, what exactly is the icebreaker. So anytime you want to start a project, it is similar to that, and you can learn about what exactly the project is, what is your assignment. There will be a lot of material and help provided. For example, what is the checklist for this project? And every project has 3 components to it, if I have to say in terms. One is something called assess your skills before, which is basically before you work on that project, there are a number of competencies and that are measured upon. So you'll be asked a few questions like how comfortable you are in front of speaking people. And you do this assessment before you starting the project work. And once you complete all this question, and in this case, there are 5 questions you submit, that's when system will record it, that this is the level that you are at now before you are starting the work. And then you go on, you do the work, and every project will have different assignments. For example, icebreaker talks about having one speech about yourself, 4 to 6 minutes. So there's a lot of material. How do you write your outline? It's a very good video. You must see that whenever you get time. So it gives you a flavor about what exactly is icebreaker, how do you write an icebreaker, how do you prepare that. And once you are done, you go move on. And there is something called your evaluation material, which is in yes. So when you come to your evaluation, you get 3 links. One is evaluation resource. So this is the PDF that you can download this PDF and send to your evaluator before you present a speech. You can print all of these. So that's one of the reasons printed material is not very recommended. You can print all of these from your system, and you can go through it if you are really into printed things. And this is where you will have different sections based on the project that you work on. So you have done your pre-assessment, you go through all the material, and then you give the speeches. Most of the projects will have one speech. Some of them have two speeches, and evaluation and projects and things like that. Once you do all of that, then you come back here and then you do something called assess your skills after, which is where you will assess your skills after you've done the project. Once you complete this one, which is like again the same 5 questions, it will actually show you a comparative analysis of what you were before you started on this project to what you are now. And that way you will be able to see the changes in you then and there. And this is how the Toastmasters website will also understand that you have gone through all the requirement of the project. Now, this is all the ideal word. I know in general word how we do, but this is how we do. Assess your skills before, go through the material, do the assignment, and then come back and assess your skills after. Any question at this point of time?
So me again. Is this when you're activating your icebreaker, for example, does it take you to a point where you then submit your speech to your club to then put it in the agenda for the coming weeks? Is this
so
where it is? Yeah.
Great question. And this is the confusing part. Like Miriam already mentioned, that we have 2 basic websites that we do. This one is the international website where you get all your educational material and do a certain things to market closing system. There's another website, which is the easySpeak website. And we have a session probably after a few minutes about how do you go and request a speech or mark your attendance. So that is the meeting management part of the website, meeting management website. That's where you go and record your speech, and you say you are requesting a speech or you want to be grammarian for next meeting and things like that. So this is more of education part of it, and that one I'll say more of an meeting management part of it. So those are the 2 websites which go hands in hand, but yeah, we need to know both of that.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi, Haritosh.
Yes,
Yeah,
Diva.
I have a question here. So is there any way to check what all speeches have been given the feedback for, or to check whether the complete process has been done for a particular speech?
Okay. 2 answers to that. Number 1 is you come to this particular project and you go through your assignment, and your assignment will mention what exactly is that you are asked for. For example, the purpose of this project is to introduce and sorry about that. And you need to give a speech of 4 to 6 minutes here. But in easySpeak also there is an option where you can see what all speeches you have given. It might be a little advanced easySpeak session, so we are running a little bit late today. We may not be able to cover that portion, but you can definitely go into your easySpeak profile to see what all speeches you have given and you have been evaluated on.
Is that the same login as Toastmasters?
Sorry, Mike, can you repeat?
The login to easySpeak, is that something separate?
No, that's a separate login. So this one is, these are 2 separate websites managed by 2 separate teams. So you can keep the same password, but not recommended. These are 2 separate sites, and recommended is to have a strong different password if possible.
Who sends out the username password for that?
I'm sorry?
Who sends out the username password for easySpeak?
Yeah, so easySpeak have their meeting manager. So for example, your VPE, for this term, I am the VPE, and then there is an easySpeak administrator also. They can reset your password, and once they reset, you'll get an email to reset your password and put it a new password.
Okay. I'm just wondering, I'm not sure I've received one, that's all.
Okay, we can reset your password again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this was one project that you do. I'm gonna close this tab. So we talked about there are 5 levels, and once you complete one project, you can move on to the other project. I clicked on something. Yes. Okay. Once you complete all the projects of a level, that's when you will get this level completion option to activate. So you have done icebreaker, you have done the second project, evaluate and feedback, which by the way has 3 portions to it. You give a speech, you get feedback and give the speech again, and you also be an evaluator. So that's a part of that. And then you take up one project to do a research and then give a presentation of 5 to 7 minutes. Once you complete all of this, you mark that close in the system. That's when this button will come to activate this level completion, and you mark that as completed. And that's when some of the committee members, basically president, VPE, or secretary, can go and mark that as approved. So, and your level will be complete. Without completing your levels also, you can still move on and activate some of the project, but you will not be able to get the credit and certificate and all those. So highly recommend you go for your first project. Since you are starting your Toastmaster journey, highly recommended you go through the flow. And when you become comfortable, you can switch around. All right. So I've stopped sharing. Any questions so far on Toastmaster website? How do you go through projects and all? And how do you complete your levels? Great. All right, so time for me to bring up our third and final person who's going to share his experience with Toastmaster. He's one person who I find really inspiring, and he's one person who's been blind since birth, but every time I hear him speak, I get inspired. So let's hear it from Mark Best.
Hello, I've been asked to talk to you about how Toastmasters has affected me and enabled me as a Toastmaster to become more confident in the art of speech making and how it's affected me as a listener. I've been privileged to be part of Basingstoke Toastmasters for about 6 years. Through Toastmasters, and obviously my mother Toastmasters Club, Basingstoke, it's helped me to become more confident. It's helped me to be a more competent speaker. And it's given me the chance, through listening to evaluations from other speakers and other evaluators, to learn about what I can possibly do to enhance my public speaking. I'd like to think that through Toastmasters, I've become a better speaker. I've certainly become more aware about what I should and shouldn't do. I love the chance to give speeches. I love the opportunity to evaluate speeches. And I love listening to speeches and listening to speakers and evaluators. If Toastmasters can help you in ways that it has helped me, not only in giving speeches, but also to gain in confidence, then you as a Toastmaster will have achieved your goal. You'll have set out and beyond what you ever thought you could do as a Toastmaster. I wish you all very good luck on your Toastmaster journeys as new Toastmasters. Enjoy the challenge, rise to the challenge. You can do it if you want to. Don't let your inhibitions get in your way. Strive to be better speakers by listening to each other, by listening to the speeches and listening to the evaluations. Your Toastmasters journey is your journey. Enjoy it, embrace the challenge and go for it.
Thank you so much, Mark. That was so sweet of you to inspire our new members and our existing members.
Hello.
Let's quickly move on to another short video, and that's where we'll talk about the big aspect of mentoring and mentor program in Basingstoke speakers specifically, and how it helps you and how you can enroll. Kit has again, I'm using one of his videos.
One of the things that we pride ourselves, particularly in Basingstoke Speakers Club, but in Toastmasters in general, is that we learn by giving feedback. So when you deliver a speech, somebody will give you some productive, some nurturing feedback. But the problem is, if you wanted to know what to do before you deliver the speech, you're not going to get that feedback until you've done it. So if you want to know how to write a speech or how to prepare for other roles, it's that much harder, because of course you don't get feedback until you've done something. And that is the principle of the mentoring program. So the idea of the mentoring program is that experienced members will coach new members through their initial, definitely through their initial speeches, possibly through level 1, or quite possibly up to their DTM. And I've mentored 2 people to DTM. So that relationship can continue for years and years, that if one is experienced and gets on well with your protege. So the sort of things that we're looking for with a mentor, what they must be is available. So somebody who is a mentor, we like them to be available so that they can spend some time talking to the person that they're with. We also expect a mentor to be patient. People learn at different speeds, and so the mentor should be willing to provide whatever it is that the mentee or protege needs. They need to be sensitive that some people are not particularly happy to have feedback, and so that feedback needs to be given in a thoroughly constructive way. They need to be respectful. Different people learn in different ways, and they take feedback in different ways, and so on. They also need to be flexible so that they can adapt to the plan, and they need to be knowledgeable. They also, of course, need to be a good listener, and they need to have that concern. Obviously, most of the people here have either been a mentor or have, yeah, my animation has just gone completely bonkers. You can't get the star. The protege, which is what you would be, must be open to feedback. So you're not going to learn if you're not happy to have some feedback. The mentor is giving up their time, so you have to appreciate that. And you have to be active. The mentor isn't a coach who isn't going to push you. The mentor is there as a resource. So you need to tell the mentor what you want. The protege must be a good listener. You have to listen to the feedback that you're being given, and you have to be prepared to say yes. So if the mentor is not going to push you, but will suggest things, and if you don't say yes, you're not going to benefit from them. But also you have to be prepared to say no. If you don't think that that advice is useful, you have to say no. Within many clubs, and certainly within Basingstoke, we have and are just restarting our mentorship program. I will be sending out to those of you who are members of Basingstoke Speakers Club some information, some requests to see if you would like to have a mentor. I'll be finding out who would also like to be our mentor, and then I'll be trying to pair the mentees to the mentors. So if you are interested in mentoring, you're interested in being a mentee, being mentored, please get in touch with me. I'm looking after that part of the program. And if you want to know more generally about how mentoring works, also, please let me know.
You're on mute, Ritu.
Yes. You know, when you get one of those podcasting mics, you have to unmute that as well. All right. Thank you so much, Kate, for helping us. Even though you're not here, you've contributed so much. So as Kate mentioned, mentoring is a core of what we do. And as a new member, I highly, highly recommend that you reach out to Kate and mention that the kind of mentor that you're looking for. I'm pretty sure he's going to help you with the mentor you have. I know we are 1 minute over time. We have one small thing to talk about. So if everybody is all right, we can continue. Otherwise, yeah, please show a thumbs up if you're okay. Good. Thank you so much. The last bit that I want to talk about is a little bit to do with the meeting management part of it. How do you come to, how do you know what is there in the meeting? So as all of you are there on our easySpeak website, and every week when we have Toastmaster meeting, I send a link for the agenda. So that's one way to go to the agenda. I'm going to now share my screen to show you how is the other way that you can go to that week's agenda or previous week or coming week's agenda. Let me share my screen again. All right, if you go to basingstoke.toastmasterclub.org, this is where the club's homepage or meeting management part of it comes up. I directly logged in because I've logged in, so I directly come here. But if you're not logged in, it will ask you to log in with your user ID and password. And if you're having challenges accessing that, please reach out to me or Kate or Claudia. Will be able to help you. This is where, since I am the Vice President Education, I see a lot more things that you will generally see, but what you can definitely see is what is the meeting that is coming up. So there is something called last meeting. Apparently it takes today's meeting as last meeting, but if you want to see today's meeting, you can come here and see. This is a little bit different because this meeting just happened as per it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the next one. So our next meeting is on 17th of June. Once you come here, you'll see multiple sections. One, it will say I will or will not be attending the meeting. You can say green or red. Based on that, the system will know I will be attending. So I just said I will, and what you can see here is against my name, it says yes, I am attending the meeting. You'll also be able to see the different roles that are available. You'll not be able to see this option because I am the Vice President Education. I can assign the speeches. What you will see a button over here which says request a speech. And when you click on that, you will get an option to enter the speech detail, the name of the speech, and what is the project and all those. You can definitely select your name for any of the other roles except the speaker. So if you want to be grammarian, go here and select and it will start showing up here. You can, if you want to know a little bit more about any particular role, so another way is you click on this grammarian and it will bring up a full script which will tell you what exactly you need to do prior to the meeting, what is the introduction and how do you conduct. So lot of help material is already available, and this is how you do. There are a few more parts. I'm not sure everybody will have access, so I'm not going to get into, but you can always go to my participation, request a speech, sign up for meeting. We just did one, and you can request a speech and it will ask you for your speech title, what is the workbook, which particular workbook you're working on. And if you have given a speech, it will show. And then if you have any preferred date, for example, we have 17 June, which is coming up here, and then we'll have another meeting, which is yet to be put in the system. So that's how you request a speech. Close that. Somebody was asking how you can see your speeches that you have given. So you can click on view my speech progress and you can see all the different speeches that you have given and at different club, and you can click a little bit more here. Yep. So this was one speech I given, and I can see the workbook, and it does say it was completed on 17th September. It was evaluated by Miriam. So there are other speeches I've done for contest. So you can see all your speech progress in here. So that's another quick link that you can see. And then, yeah, few more about online meetings and things like that. I know this is very basic and we are over time. So I didn't want to just throw everything in here and and make you more confused. The purpose of this induction session is not to pour all the knowledge of all the Toastmasters and everything, but to give you a little bit of start. It is a continuous journey, a journey which keeps evolving, and every time you attend the meeting, you learn new things and some more things and some more things, and that's how you keep growing as a speaker and as a leader. So this is a little bit introduction about easySpeak. So at this point of time, do we have any questions? We can take probably 5 minutes for any question that we have, and then we will have a sort of certificate distribution, and then we'll close up the meeting.
Yeah, Yosh. I have a question. So just to cross check, so for assigning a mentor, we need to touch base with Kit?
That's right.
Thank you.
Mike, I know you raised your hand, so you can go.
Yeah, when we're choosing a role for each meeting, is there a preferred step to start off with and then make your way through? Like, would you start off as a grammarian first and then work to the more difficult ones? Is there?
Go for the R counter.
We don't have an R counter in Basingstoke. No, there is no such thing. I have seen people who come up and give speeches in like 3 days after joining, and there are people who have not taken a role for 3 months. I'll definitely not recommend doing that, but ideally it's up to your comfort level. If you think that taking up smaller role, there's nothing like smaller, but a lightweight role, if I may say, the grammarian, if you think is lightweight for you, or a timer or a warm-up facilitator, you can definitely start up. It gives you something to learn, and then you can move on to being a Toastmaster, table topic master, or a speaker, evaluator. Of course, being a Toastmaster and table topic master require a little bit more planning, a little bit more leadership skills. But yeah, Toastmaster doesn't ban us that if you can't be Toastmaster in your very first meeting. There's nothing like, there's no written rule as such. You can take the role as you want. And one of the things that is very famous about Toastmaster is we all come here to mess up so that we become better. And when you mess up with the age, as Craig Valentine, one of the word champions, says, when you mess up with the age, it becomes message.
So just one more question, sorry.
No worries.
When you book your speech, is there a lead time that you have to have it in by to make sure that the meeting organizers have got enough time to put you in, or how does it work? Can you just put it in 2 days before and then?
I would be, as a VP, I would be more than happy if everybody does it 2 days before. Yeah, many a times I end up chasing people that, okay, yeah, there is a word master role available. Are you coming to this meeting? But yeah, in an ideal perfect world, probably you will have 2 or 3 meetings agenda finalized. But yeah, I've not been to that perfect world. So yeah, you can take up any time.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Haritosh,
Yes,
if one of our speeches has not been evaluated for some reason, is there any way to request an evaluation for that speech?
Yes, you can. Definitely.
Okay.
So I believe the question that you're asking is about speaking outside Toastmaster. That is one way, and it could also be speaking to other club. I know Chris is doing a project where he's trying to complete his level 3 by end of June, and he's going out to different club. So as a Toastmaster, you are free to give speeches in across 145 countries in any of the club. If they have a speech slot available, you are most welcome. You just have to have one person evaluate. And similar is the case for if you're speaking outside as well. If you have one Toastmaster who's there, who's able to evaluate you, you can do the speech outside Toastmaster as well. Because we all come to Toastmaster to become a better speaker outside Toastmaster as well. So there's nothing stopping you, but yeah, you have to have one person evaluate your speech. Miriam, you want to add anything?
I'll just say that I did one at my workplace, and I got awarded at my workplace. Yeah. They gave me an award and they gave me money. That was amazing. And I got like 3 people to join Toastmasters.
Yeah.
So, yes, you can do it. You can do it everywhere, and it's great. It's really good. Yeah. And if there is a speech that you're doing in the club and it doesn't get evaluated by a proper evaluator, then you can always ask the general evaluator to give you an evaluation as well. But yeah, do explore outside Toastmaster. You don't know. And I'm going to say something you're not going to believe me. But my very first promotion at work was because a manager of another department saw me. He saw me doing a speech. And he said, my God, Miriam, you got so good presentation skills. Come here to my sales department. It was incredible. I promoted thanks to Toastmasters. I can really say it works. So don't shy away. You can get a long way in your career with Toastmasters.
Absolutely. Thank you, Letty. I know Suhas raised the hand, so Suhas.
Hello. My question is, we just spoke about giving speeches at other clubs. Now, how do we know which club has a slot for our speeches?
Good question. Really good question. And there is no straightforward answer to this. I'm going to give you a few options. One of the things that I've seen a lot of people do is go to facebook.com. There is a Toastmasters, official Toastmasters group. And if you're really going to stretch yourself, you can just post in there that I am willing to give a speech on so-and-so date and between so-and-so time. If any of your club has any open speech slot, please contact me. And you will be amazed by the number of opportunities that you will. You'll probably think, no club will have that, but you'll get 15, 20, and you'll be like, how do I give a speech in 20 club at the same time? So that's one way. Another way is to reach out to the club website. And if you know this particular club that I want to give, for example, we have Jenny from Reading Speaker, and I know I want to give a speech from Reading Speakers, I'll go to their website on easySpeak, and there's a request a speech option, so that also I can do. Or I think the best way I feel is the personal connect. You'll certainly know once you become a Toastmaster, and I know you are experienced Toastmaster, you know somebody who's part of another club or another district, and you can reach out to them and they can help you with the speeches as well, setting up the speeches as well.
Or you can do like Prince did. He went on to easySpeak, and he saw Basingstoke speakers and he came. So on easySpeak, you can find any club that has an easySpeak account. You can also do that. And you can select and say you're going to that club. You can tell them you're going.
Speaking of which, have you got a speech slot?
You're most welcome to give in our very next meeting, which is next week.
Yeah, go for it, Prince.
Tosh, why I asked you the question is, I've been a member of the Toastmasters International in Facebook for over 8 years. I'm also been a member of a global WhatsApp group where all Toastmasters from the world are there. But I don't see anybody from UK and Ireland in the group. And that's why I asked you the question, do we have a separate group where I can ask and post?
We do, yes. We do have it. We have a group in WhatsApp you can be part of for the UK and Ireland.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
There's a group and then there are a lot of Facebook pages for UK and Ireland and District 91. There's an online Toastmaster. There's so many Facebook pages.
Haritosh, do you mind me just saying, just to pick up on what you're saying, at Reading, we're really happy to host as well. So if any of you do want to come, and obviously in the past when we've been able to meet face to face, because of our distance, it's actually quite good for us to go between the two clubs. So yeah, feel free to contact me or anyone else if you're interested.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. And Jenny is the president-elect for Reading Speakers. So yeah, we're gonna work very closely for next coming year. Thank you so much for joining us today. Any other question? We have 15 minutes over time. Okay. All right. So all that is left is now a momentous certificate for people who joined us today. I'm going to promise this is the last screen share I'm doing today. Okay, please forgive me. All right, our first certificate of participation goes to Chris Edward. Chris came and I saw he was there. I'm not sure he's still here, but thank you, Chris, for joining the induction. Next up is Claire. Yeah. Thank you for joining the induction. Divya, thank you for joining. And I know it's quite late in India, but we're so proud you're here and you come to our meetings. Nisha, yes, thank you for joining us. Stevie, congratulations on being a Basingstoke speakers. We're really looking forward to your next speech. Suhas, we are glad you're part of us and we're really learning a lot from you. Yes, welcome on board, buddy. You're doing great. Mike, yeah, our latest star in making. And that's it. Fazal was supposed to be here, is not here. I will be sharing all these. I will be sharing all the certificates individually to all of you. And I'll also share a link to get feedback. So that's it from Induction Corner. If you have, this is just the beginning of the journey. If you have any further question, feel free to reach out to me, reach out to Claudia, Miriam. There are so many people who are there to help. We didn't have our tech guru join us physically. You can also reach out to Kit. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. And I'll give the control back to our president, Shadia.
Thank you very much, Haritosh. It's great. Again, hopefully you found this evening very useful. I certainly did. There's things that say, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. So you always learn. Doesn't matter which level of Toastmaster, how many years you've been there. Even Suhas, he's been a Toastmaster for 8 years. He still has questions. So we learn constantly. So just to remind you, our next meeting is next Thursday, the 17th of June, at 7:30. So if you're you're going to come to the meeting, please sign up for a role now. Now you know how to do it. And or if you want to sign up for a speech, please do. And that's going to help us build the agenda quickly, and Haritosh is going to be happy. And everybody's going to be happy. So thank you very much to everybody, and we can officially close the meeting. So good night.
Thank you, guys.